Hey guys, Tony here, and back to show you some new records. I got quite a bit here. Um, I only have a little bit of time left on my camera, so before I run out of time, I just want to get right into the records here. There's a bunch of things I want to say, but every time I try to say what I want to say and show you the records, I run out of time, so this isn't my first shot at this video. I just wanted to say real quick, I'm done with school. Finally, my graduation was yesterday. It went great. I mean, the graduation, the final presentation, the final paper done. I presented them on Thursday. It was on a fictitious record store, and I actually did a demonstration with a turntable and an MP3, playing a record and then playing an MP3, and it went off really well. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where now that I'm finally done, I was so focused on this work that I look around and I'm just like, Jesus, I'm just was so focused on it that a lot of things I didn't, a lot of things kind of were neglected, I guess, just, one of those things. I'm sure you know what I mean. Um, it just feels great to be done finally. Also, I wanted to say, I know there's been a lot going on with the vinyl community, and time has been such a huge thing for me. So now that I'm done, I'll have a bit more time to focus on other things. And one of the things is the community, my collection in general, and everything else, my family. I enjoy writing and reading and everything. So hopefully I'll have a bit more time, and I hope nobody takes it personally that I've been unable to respond to threads as much as I would have liked to. There were a lot of cool ones. But yeah, hopefully now I'll have a bit more time. So yeah. Also, 300 subscribers, which is awesome. I really appreciate you guys watching and subscribing and all that. It's really cool. This community has grown. There's a lot of cool new people. Um, so yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. So let me get started here. I got quite a bit. I got a little cash from graduation, so I went record shopping today and bought a couple really cool things. I also got a couple things for free, which is awesome, so I'll get into that too. I'll explain why they were free. First off, the other day I went to the store, I stopped in there, and the store that I go to most is called Red Scroll Records. A great store, I'm in there all the time, and they basically specialize in underground music, and indie labels, indie bands, local bands, things like that. A lot of cool stuff in there. So I go in there and I basically ask for a recommendation, which I almost never do. And the first thing the guy behind the counter says is this local band here. They're called Ferocious Fucking Teeth. They're local in Connecticut. They're from Connecticut. They're basically, I guess I'd call them a punk band, but their sound is a bit more than that. I don't know. Great band. Great release. I've heard their name, but I've never actually heard them or seen them live. So I'm going to have to check them out. This release is called Hounds. Ferocious Fucking Teeth. This is a limited press, 7-inch. This is number 251 of 300. So it's always cool having a limited pressing of something. Here's a free patch it came with, Hounds. So yeah, if you're interested in this or curious or whatever, go to ferociousfuckingteeth.bandcamp.com. I recommend it. It's really cool. So cool find there. Now I have a couple Neil Young related things I want to show. Two things that I'm real excited about. Two kind of hard to get. At least I had trouble getting them. First off, 7-inch. Contains a song, basically. The reason why I wanted it, it contains a song that's not on any other vinyl release. The only other place it's on was on his Archives. So if you have Archives Volume 1, it's on there. But on no other vinyl, really. So I've been looking for this for a while, and it's either been just out of my price range or too much for a 7-inch, I think. But I found the copy online, and I basically jumped on it, and I'm really glad I did. It's actually a promotional copy. The only thing is it doesn't have a picture sleeve, which kind of sucks, but maybe you never had one. It's a promotional copy. I don't know, but still happy to have it. Neil Young, Graham Nash, and the Stray Gators, War Song. This is a Neil Young song from 1972. It's basically a anti-Vietnam protest song. Uh, Really cool tune, and it's backed with The Needle and the Damage Done. Again, a promotional white label. So really happy to get that, add to my Neil collection. There's still a few more singles basically that I need to get to basically have everything. But yeah, this is one of them, and I'm glad to finally get it. This next one here is an album that I've wanted to get for a long time, and it just became one of those albums that it shouldn't be so hard to get, but it was for me. I never really see it around at the stores much, or I'd hear it was at a store, I'd go there, and it's already sold, or something like that. There was one time it was in a store and I passed it up, and then it was gone, which I kind of regret, but what are you going to do? And I didn't want to pay too much for this, and when you see it, you'll know why. It's actually my picture on YouTube, the little picture that identifies you, I guess. I don't know what you'd call it. That picture is an album cover. I never had the album. Crazy Horse. Their solo album. They had a few, but this is their first, and I want to say only one with Danny Whitten. Excuse me, Danny Whitten was the original guitarist with Crazy Horse, and I never had this. So glad to finally have it. The record is mint, beautiful. There was a split here, and they taped it, which I knew about going in, but what are you going to do? I'm just happy the record is in beautiful condition. The cover's in good condition except for that. Danny Whitten was a super talented guy. From what I've read about him, know about him, the guy just had a lot of soul, a lot of talent, and he basically developed a drug problem and OD'd very early in life, and it was really kind of a drag, and it affected Neil Young quite a bit. That's what The Needle and the Damage Done is about. Tonight's the Night, all that. So, and his death basically sparked the period of the Ditch trilogy in Neil's career. So, check this out. I highly recommend it. I don't want to talk about it. Danny Whitten wrote that song. Most of you probably know it from Rod Stewart doing it. I think another person did it too, but it's probably one of the greatest breakup songs ever. Check that out. Crazy Horse. I don't want to talk about it. Or Danny Whitten. I don't want to talk about it. Just a fantastic song done so well on here. Another really great Danny Whitten track is Look at All the Little Things. Great song. They also do a cover of Neil's song Dance, Dance, Dance. Downtown, which is on another Danny Whitten track that's on Tonight's the Night, and it's also on Live at the Fillmore. But this is the studio version on here. Crow Lady Jane, just a cool album, and I'm glad to finally have this. Crazy Horse. If I try to figure out where to put it, got a bunch of things here. These next two are like the deal of the month for me, besides the free records. Alright, so these were Record Store Day exclusive windowed releases, I guess. So there was a window of time where you could only get it through the independent shops that participated in Record Store Day. But then after, I think, a month, you were able to get it through other retailers, online, etc. So I waited on these. I didn't buy them on Record Store Day. I bought them after the fact to focus on the Record Store Day limited thing. So I pre-ordered them through Amazon, and because of Amazon's price guarantee, pre-order price guarantee, when the price fluctuates, when it drops, it keeps, it goes up and down. You get it for the lowest price during that time period. So I ended up getting these for $9 a piece, which is unbelievable. Really, really cool deal. Pearl Jam Versus, their second album. Really well done, well pressed, excellent album. I've always kind of had a love-hate. Well, in the beginning, I had a love-hate relationship with Pearl Jam, I guess. Just didn't like them, and then probably because everybody loved them, that I was just kind of like, I had bought 10 when it came out. I wasn't that crazy about it. But over time, I've seen them live. I've seen Pearl Jam like 3 times live. And as their career progressed, I've grown to like them a lot more. But yeah, Versus. Beautiful gatefold. really great job with pressing these. I gotta say, they sound great. And for $9, this sells in the store for almost 20 now. And this one as well, even better, $9. Vitalogy, Pearl Jam. Nice textured cover, double LP, 180 gram. Just beautifully done. This is their third LP. This is the period of Pearl Jam that I like most. Vitalogy, No Code, and then Yield. Just those are probably my favorite records by them. But yeah, super great deal on these. I'm really glad to have them. So there you go. This one I picked up today. It's used. It's an early press, I guess. Maybe, I don't know if it's an original or what, but it's definitely an early press. The Smiths, Queen is Dead. There's the back, and it's a gatefold. I think it has these stickers on them. It has a sticker here and a sticker there. But for about $10, not bad. The vinyl's beautiful. So really glad to have that. Rough Trade. Cool album. Love the Smiths. Another band I've been getting into a lot lately. Rain Dances. Camel. Another Camel album. Beautiful. Really well done, this album. I liked it a lot. Gotta say. So, got this for $7 online. So, can't beat that. This one, I know Big Star 1000 featured in a video. And Mr. Skulls, Mr. 666 Skulls, I think it was. If I said that wrong, I apologize. But he showed this in a video as well, and I heard it in the background. And I really heard it well, and I was like, I gotta get this. It just sounded so good. And it is. It's a fantastic album. I gotta say. Africa, Demon Fuzz. Really great. From 1970. Like horn rock, I would call it. Just a lot of horns, really funky, just an excellent album. Really enjoyed this and so glad I got it. So I got to thank those guys for this. Check that out, Africa, Demon Fuzz. Alright, we'll try and get it back in there. Another band I've been getting into quite a bit lately, Superchunk. This is On the Mouth. I bought a Superchunk album recently, and when I showed it, somebody, I can't remember who, left me a suggestion saying check out On the Mouth. And I've listened to this once, and I gotta say it's really good. Just a great 90s indie rock band. Highly recommended. Superchunk. Now I have a few albums here by the same band. Two of which were free, which I'll explain. This is, I saw this in the record store. This one was not free, but it was in the record store. They had a few copies of it, and I jumped on it, just grabbed it. I didn't even think twice about it. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm not actually sure who pressed this. It has to be some kind of Italian label, but it's called The Early Mats. So it's the early replacements. It says 14 of their best from 1981 through 1984. Unreleased outtakes from the sessions of Sorry Ma, Forgot to Take Out the Trash, Hootenanny, and Let It Be, before they were on Capitol. So, really cool. Now, with the replacements, there's like a division among their fans with their early work compared to their later work. Me and Big Star 1000 kind of discussed this, and he prefers their later work while I prefer their earlier work, which is the same story with all their fans. I mean, you either prefer one or the other, it seems. I like both periods, but I definitely prefer their early stuff. Their early stuff, actually, they came out of the Minneapolis scene, and that with Husker Du, the whole hardcore scene, and it didn't really suit them, you know. They played fast and everything, but as time went on, they incorporated more of rock, more country, more pop into their music. And it was when they reached kind of the halfway point. After that, they kind of went into like a power pop direction. Paul Westerberg was highly influenced by Alex Chilton and Big Star. So I kind of like that in-between point. I think Let It Be is like their perfect album because it's between their punk and their more pop side. It's so well done. And then after that, they signed to a major and became much more of a pop band. So this is basically before that, and there's little jabs at their later stuff. This is not produced by Alex Chilton there. Um, and another funny little things: new improved, probably dynamic stereo, file under power trash, things like that. So also another thing about this is that there's a little thing here that says limited edition, 400 promotional use only, not for sale. So if you could see that there. Now, after I came home with this, I looked it up on eBay, and this is selling for 75 bucks now. This is brand new, and I paid $14.38 for it at the store. So, really great to get this. You know, if it's that limited, really cool. So, the replacements. Now I have 2 replacements albums here, 2 more that I did not have, and I got them for free. If I have time, hopefully I can explain it. The replacements, Pleased to Meet Me. A later album, really, really good. This has the song Alex Chilton. It also has Red Red Wine, Skyway, Can't Hardly Wait. Just a cool album. This is after their original lineup, I think. They kind of broke up that original lineup for that reason. Paul Westerberg wanted to go into a more pop direction, while other band members wanted to stay like a kind of a heavier punk band. But Paul Westerberg was a songwriter, so he kind of had his way, you know. So very cool. This is an original too, by the way, on Sire Records. It's not the more recent reissue, so that's cool. But it also has the original sleeve, but it's kind of beat up. So I put the LP in a white sleeve. Very cool to get that for free. And the replacements, Don't Tell a Soul. Fantastic. This is one of their last records. This has a number of good tracks on it as well. If I could pull it out real quick. We'll Inherit the Earth. I'll Be You. Is that the only ones I'm familiar with? Rock and Roll Ghost. So, just a cool record. I love the Replacements. They're such a good band. If you're not familiar with the Replacements, I highly recommend checking them out. They were just kind of screw-ups, and if they weren't, they probably would have been bigger than REM. It's quite possible. They were just that good. But they just kind of screwed up everything. So, and this one here was also free. John Coltrane, Transition, on Impulse. Haven't listened to this yet. A little bit of wear on the cover, but the vinyl is beautiful. And for free, I mean, you can't beat that. And so yeah, very cool find there. A few krautrock things here, real quick. I haven't listened to this yet, but I've heard good things about it. Kraftwerk, Radioactive, reissued, still sealed. Very happy to get this. And this one here, Harmonia, Music von Harmonia. Their first album. They've had 2 albums really, and I showed their second one in my last video, and this is their first one. I love that album cover, just really something about it I really like. Originally released in 1974 on the Brain label. This is a 2006 Lilith reissue. Bought brand new online, so excellent band, great electronic music. It's like a mixture of electronic and acoustic, so really well done. This is actually Michael Rother from Neu! And Cluster. And speaking of Michael Rother, I also have another limited press, album. Michael Rother, Esperanza. This is from 1996 on Random Records. Very cool stuff. I listened to this once and I liked what I heard. So very cool. He has a number of solo albums. So much, kind of newer. This one is from '96. So. Alright, so one last thing here, something really cool from Record Store Day, and I wanted it, but it was just too much money on Record Store Day. So I went to the store today, a store